Hello, I'm Hannah and I'm here to show you how to run the VAT Form 126 report on Scribe. So when you're logged into Scribe, on the left-hand side, you'll have a VAT menu. And when you click into that, if you're not VAT registered, so you're just claiming VAT back, you should see three menu options: the VAT summary report, the VAT list report, and the VAT Form 126. If you see different menu options to that, you would need to check your council profile. That can be found under Account, Council Profile. If you scroll to the VAT section, you just need to make sure that this box is not ticked. So if you're not VAT registered, you should not have a tick in the box, and therefore you will then see the correct menu options. We can then return to the VAT menu and go into the VAT Form 126 menu option here. And this will automatically run the report, as you can see. So it'll run the report for the entire financial year, so April to the end of March. If you are therefore running the report midway through because you want to do a claim for not just the entire financial year, you will need to go to Filter and select the date range that you require. It is therefore really important to remember or record when you last made a claim so that you know what you are doing with regards to the next claim. For example, if we're now going from the 1st of April to the 30th of June, so the first quarter, it is a good idea, if possible, if you can get into a schedule with regards to your claim. It might only be annually, and that's fine. And if you go to the 31st of March, it always works well to keep it in line with the year end. You may want to do it 6 monthly or quarterly. But if you do it ad hoc, according to when you incur large amounts of VAT, do make sure that you keep a record of your last claim, keep a copy of this report so that you know when you're next starting from. Remember, you can only claim for complete calendar months, and if your claim is less than £100, it needs to be for the full financial year. So once you enter the date range, you would just click View Report, and the information will be shown that is relevant to the payments that you've entered in this period and the amount of VAT that you can therefore reclaim. The information that you see here is what's required by HMRC to repay the claim, so the invoice date, the supplier's VAT number, the supplier name, description, and the VAT amount that you entered against the payment. Do be aware that it's possible that you may see invoice dates that are outside the actual period that you've run the report for, because we are reclaiming VAT that we've paid in this period. So in this scenario, we have a March invoice, but because it was paid between April and June, it appears on this report. The date range applies to the voucher date, whereas the invoice date is shown here. If you have missing bits of information, you would need to go and add that back in. So you can see that I've got some invoice dates that are not appearing here. And also I'm missing my VAT number for stationery for you. So to add in missing information, you can go to Transactions and then to Payments. So there we are. I've looked up stationery for you already. So you can see my entries here. So I can click into one there. And this is the one that's appearing on the report at the moment. Scroll down. If I click the pen icon next to my supplier name, it will load up the details, and you can see my VAT number is not appearing. So I can add that in accordingly and save at the bottom, and then save to update. Once I've added it to one record for stationery for you, any other stationery for you records that I have will also be updated. So if you have a section of a supplier where the VAT number does not appear, once you've added it to one supplier record, it'll update them all. The invoice date, however, is unique to the individual transaction, because obviously the invoice date is going to be different for each entry that you add. So for this example, there's my door repair one that didn't have in the invoice number, and I can click into it, see the invoice date is missing, and I just need to add that in. Okay, and again, save to update, and then I can go back and run my report just to make sure. So you can see I've now got my stationery for you for that number, and there's that invoice date for my door repair. Even if you're not planning on doing the report and reclaiming more than annually, you may find it useful to run this every so often, just to make sure you haven't got large amounts of missing information, because then you can add it as you go. And if you get to the year end to reclaim, it's not a lot of work to then have to go and add it all back in. But once you've got a scenario where the report is got all the information that you want, and you know the time period you've run it for is correct, you can then put the claim in. So if we return as we were to the 1st of April to the 30th of June, as we said, Obviously, I need to add in these bits of missing information, but this is the claim amount that we're going to put in. There is no link between any software and HMRC for reclaims of VAT using Form 126. That is just if you're VAT registered and returns, because they are submitted directly via software. So in this scenario, you would need to log on separately with your Government Gateway ID to HMRC and go through the process of adding in the information. So you put this claim figure in, and then you can upload this report. So under actions on Scribe, you can download a PDF, keep that copy, and then upload when you've logged on with your Government Gateway ID. If you haven't done a claim before, you don't know your Government Gateway ID, it is possible to do it via post. So do just look that up online to find out how you would do that.